106.7 K-Rock is KROQ. You are listening to the Kevin and Bean Show at 8:39, and we welcome Mike Shinoda to the show. Hi, Mike. Welcome.
Hi there.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay, thanks.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Tell us about the event that you're going to have. Because I know, let's start with the fans. Let's start with the fan celebrations and the fan artwork. Talk about that some.
Yeah. Okay, so, it's been 2 months since Chester passed away. The fans have been incredible. I mean, I don't think we could have ever expected such an outpouring of love and all these tributes. I mean, there's tributes. There've literally been tributes all over the world for 2 straight months. If you're on Twitter, fan sites like LP Association, LP Live, LP Catalog, these guys are covering. They're basically retweeting and covering all of these things. And 2 things happened, I think, from us seeing all that stuff. And the guys and Chester's family were deeply moved by all this stuff. And one thing was that they all gravitated towards this track on the album, the title track that you just played, One More Light. And in fact, like the day Chester passed away, we were releasing a video and about to gear up for a different single, which was Talking to Myself. And the fans, they listened to that one, but they really just chose this album track.
It's sort of timing-wise, everybody was like, this is the one that we need right now. Yeah,
it really was. I mean, it's, once in a while in our career, we've had different songs that have connected with the fan base in different ways where they just naturally, organically call radio stations and request it, and they tweet about it, and they edit their own videos of their own, stories or their own, in some cases, things like their own successes, their graduations, their successes, and in some cases it's been sports and stuff like that. And in this one, they were, fans everywhere were making these montages of images of Chester, images of themselves to this song. And so we realized that it had struck a chord with them, and we wanted to let them know that we see that, we hear that. And so we made it the official single, and we just did a video for it, which went up just a few, minutes ago, I think, maybe an hour ago.
Yeah, it's on your Twitter page. If people want to go to Lincoln Park, they can check out the video there.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what you guys have been through in the past 2 months, but I can't believe the fan interaction that we talked about before. You guys have always been this band that did so much with the fans, from having them kind of take the place of PR in different cities, different countries. It has to have been just so beautiful to have that kind of taken off of you guys, that they're going to handle the tributes for this time while we regroup.
Yeah, I mean, it's been that, and I think... the song One More Light, we had written it at a time, we wrote it in an effort to reach out to people. It was a message of we'd had a few different people in our lives. This was a year and almost a year and a half ago. A friend of ours who worked at the record label, who's worked on our stuff since forever. I mean, she was a kind of a lower mid-level employee at the label when we met her, and then she kept getting promoted, and she was just such a great person and did such a great job for a lot of bands, but ours being one of them. And then just suddenly she passed away from cancer, and we wrote that struck me, and I realized that we had lost some family members and friends and stuff all in the course of a year and a half. So I was in the studio and wrote One More Light. And so it was the really the key lyric in that is the chorus goes, "Who cares if one more light goes out?" And the punchline is, "I do."
Yeah.
And the whole point of it was written to say, in times like these, you can't, there's oftentimes not a lot you can do for somebody who's hurting, but you can reach out and say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I care, right? Maybe, and sometimes that's enough. So we wrote that song. We Chester sang it, and it was initially intended to kind of reach out to somebody who had lost someone, And now we find ourselves on the receiving end of that, where the fans have taken our own song and played it back to us and let us know that they're there, they're listening and they're thinking about us. And it's been really, I can't stress enough how special and what an important role all of that has played in getting through this. I know that not only the band but also Talinda, Chester's wife, and his family have felt the same way. It's hard. It really is hard to listen to that song.
Right. And Talinda's been posting pictures and some video, and some of his kids have been posting.
Oh, by the way, it's Talinda's birthday, you guys.
Oh, happy
wish
birthday,
her,
Talinda.
Everybody wish her happy birthday. Go on Twitter, go on Instagram, wish her happy birthday.
She's awesome. Tell us about, a lot of times fans are brokenhearted for you because they've formed a bond with you and the other band members. And a lot of times it feels like it's tough to get to an artist, but you guys really do pay attention to the fans that send you stuff and that post stuff. And they were able to get to you. Yeah.
I mean, we definitely, we've always been available on social media, and I think that we've, in some ways, we try and kind of like guide our Linkin Park culture, our community, so that there's some sense of like what's the right way to do it, Like
right.
Chester always used to joke, like he would tell people in interviews and stuff, like he'd just tell them outright, like, if I'm having dinner with my wife, that's the wrong time. And like if we're saying goodbye at the airport and crying, like, yeah, maybe wrong time,
right? Maybe read the room a little.
So funny. And I think that it's been really, it's been really sensitive. It's been really tasteful, and we've reposted things. We've included. We even, for the lyric video for One More Light, like we just reposted a fan video. Like they made this beautiful lyric video, and it had typos in it and like wrong lyrics. We were like, should we fix those? Like, they did such a good job on it. Who cares? Like, let it go up with lyric problems and whatever. Like they did, as they say in, like, I have kids who are like little, and then they always tell kids in kindergarten, your work doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to do your personal best.
Right.
I say that to Kevin.
This is very much like a personal best kind of thing.
I say that to Kevin every day.
Yeah,
Mike.
to Kevin, I know the whole crew over there really encourages Kevin to just do all he can.
It's tough, Mike. It's very tough.
I know. I feel for you.
Listen, tell people about your event at the Hollywood Bowl.
So yeah, I think I said earlier there were two things that came from the interactions with the fans, and one of them, by the way, the second thing is was kind of I'd gone to Rick Rubin as a kind of a source of like
wisdom,
kind of guidance, and said he said I know you guys know this, and I know it's obvious because I know you're looking at social media and stuff. You say, I think you guys need to get on stage. I think that's going to be the thing that'll feel good. It'll be super, super hard. And
up till this point, you haven't done it, right?
We haven't gone out together in public. We haven't made any, we haven't played.
Right.
We haven't gone on stage. And he said, the fans want to see you. But most importantly, not because they want to see a show. It's like there's a cathartic experience that needs to happen, and I think it'll inform, what you guys are doing. And I thought it over, and I know that for some of the guys in the band, getting on stage is more scary than other guys in the band. But I will say that for all of us, it's definitely the thing that we want to do. It's it feels like the right way to celebrate Chester, and we want it to not be. So the real, guess like meat and potatoes of the whole thing is, we decided we're going to have a show in LA. It's going to be October 27th at the Hollywood Bowl, and we're going to do it with. We're inviting some other friends. That list of guests will be. It's still coming together. It's not announced yet, so that's more to come on that part. But we are going to be playing Hollywood Bowl October 27th.
And it's Linkin Park and Friends celebrate life in honor of Chester Bennington.
Yeah, and I do want to point out just like that with something like this, like, and it was the same at his funeral. We really I know that the circumstances of his passing were really dark, and that, as we said at the time, the darkness that he had was always there, and it was kind of part of the package. But what was so unique and special about this guy is that he used it as fuel to do so many positive things, and he really he did so many. His overall, the way he was so. He was such a happy guy. He was such a fun guy, and when he'd walk in the room, it's there was such a positive, funny, upbeat energy, and that's what we want to get out of this show. I know it's going to be a roller coaster of emotion, but I do, when we talk about this and when we're focusing on the show, it's really about, like we say, celebrating life.
It's Lincoln Park and Friends Celebrate Life in honor of Chester Bennington. Friday, October 27th at the Hollywood Bowl. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster, or you can go to lincolnpark.com for the pre-sale. And this sounds like it's going to be a great event. It's October 27th again at the Hollywood Bowl. We also have a pair of tickets to give away right now. If there are any Lincoln Park fans listening that want to go to this, 1-800-520-1067. We will take caller 20. Mike, it's great to hear your voice.
Thank you.
We're glad that you and the guys are doing well, in spite of, and that you're moving on, and we are looking forward to the Hollywood Bowl. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
We appreciate it.
Thanks to everybody listening, too.